Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about weather. We have a really cool book for you today. It's got all kinds of things about weather in here. This is called a nonfiction book, so it's all different facts that are real about different types of weather. So in a nonfiction book, there's something different. We don't have a title page, we have a contents page. Sometimes they call it contents or a table of contents, so we can find what we want to learn about is listed right here, and it gives us the page number on the side so we can go right to that page. So see how it says number 3, it says rain or shine. Right here is number 3 and it says rain or shine. So this one says the weather can be sunny, rainy, windy, or snowy. Every kind of weather is happening somewhere in the world right now. This is a snowstorm in New York, USA. Did any of you guys see the snow that we got yesterday? There was a little bit of snow yesterday and I was so worried because I was really wanting the sun to come out. And then we have this page here. It says, what is weather? The weather is caused by 3 main things: heat, water, and air. The sun gives out heat, which warms the earth. Water makes clouds and rain. It also makes fog, hail, and snow. Air is always moving around. This is what makes the wind blow. You see the waves moving from the wind? The earth is wrapped in a thick blanket of air called the atmosphere. Can you guys say atmosphere? Good job. This is where weather happens. From space, the atmosphere looks like a hazy blue ring around the earth, and the white swirls are clouds. So this is the atmosphere. Do you see that light blue around the earth? And then these are all the clouds. And this green area is where we live on land, and the blue is the water. Water on the move. Water is always moving between the sea, the air, and the land. This is called the water cycle. The sun warms up the water in the sea and it turns it into an invisible gas. It goes up and it turns invisible. The gas rises and turns into tiny little droplets of water, making clouds. Then the tiny droplets bump into each other and join together to make bigger clouds. And when the drops of water become heavy enough, they fall down like rain. And then up here it says, the rain that falls on you may have fallen on a dinosaur millions of years ago. And then last, number 5 says, rivers carry the rainwater back to the sea. The water cycle begins again. Clouding over. Look at all the clouds. Oh, they look so fluffy. Different types of clouds mean there will be different kinds of weather. Puffy white clouds usually mean that good weather is coming. Stratus clouds like these that look kind of foggy and thick, they say that this means there might be a fog or drizzle. Wispy clouds like this mean that rain or snow may be coming later. And a big cloud like this could mean that there may be a thunderstorm. When tiny water droplets form close to the ground like this, it's called fog. And this is the Golden Gate Bridge in California. It is foggy there most of the time. What are these, friends? Icy crystals. Yes, like snowflakes. When the air is very cold, the water in the clouds freeze and make tiny ice crystals called snowflakes. Most snowflakes have 6 points, and no 2 snowflakes are ever the same. We learned about these in the winter. Ooh, what's this? That looks super cool, but it could be super scary sometimes, huh? This is called a thunderstorm, and thunderstorms happen when a cumulonimbus cloud forms in the sky. So remember those big puffy clouds? The strong winds inside the clouds swirl the rain, snow, and hailstones up and down. This makes electricity build up, and it escapes down to the ground as flashes of lightning. Lightning sometimes hits trees and buildings on its way down from the clouds to the ground. And then thunder is the sound that lightning makes when it heats up the air around it. So you guys know when it gets super loud, that's what that's called, thunder. And this type of lightning is called forked lightning because it has lots of different parts. You can always see lightning before you hear thunder because light travels faster than sound. Do you guys know what those are? This is called hail. It's when the water in the clouds form into little ice balls. They say great balls of ice. Hail forms inside giant thunderclouds, so you often get hailstorms at the same time as thunder and lightning. The water droplets get blown up to the top of the cloud, and then the droplets freeze and they drop down, and then a layer of water forms around them. The hail is blown up to the top of the cloud again, and that layer of water freezes. And then this happens again and again until the hail gets too heavy and falls from the sky. If a hailstone is cut in half, its layers look a bit like those in an onion. This is the biggest hailstone ever, and it fell in Nebraska in USA in 2003. It is shown here as just over half its actual size. Ooh, windstorms. The wild wind is moving air. It happens when hot air rises and cold air rushes in to take its place. The strength of the wind is measured on a scale from 1 to 12. This is a hurricane. A hurricane begins when hot air rises quickly over the sea and starts to spin. This causes a violent storm with heavy rain, and when a hurricane reaches land, huge waves and strong winds batter the coast. The ancient Greeks believed that the wind was the breath of the gods. What is this, my friends? A lot of our preschoolers know what that's called. A tornado. They call it a terrible twister. Tornadoes are violent whirling winds. They are sometimes called twisters. A tornado is like a giant vacuum cleaner. It sucks things up from the ground. The air inside a thundercloud slowly begins to spin around and around, and then the air spins faster and faster, and the cloud begins to change shape. And when the warm air is sucked up into the cloud, it becomes shaped like a funnel, like that. And then the cloud touches the ground, and as it moves, it destroys everything in its path. Twisters can sometimes suck fish and frogs out of ponds. Did you know that? There's such things called weather scientists. A scientist measures the weather, and they tell us what they think the weather will be like. See this guy? He's trying to see what it's going to be like. These special planes fly into clouds and measure how much water is in them. And then the weather balloons right here are sent high into the sky to measure the air temperature. And then scientists put all of that information together to make a weather forecast like we see on the news. They can tell us whether it's going to be warm or whether it's going to be cold or if we're going to have some rain. And then this part right here says, some people think that cows lie down when it's about to rain. Animal magic. Did you know that weather doesn't just affect people? It affects animals and the way they behave too. For example, the fur of a snowshoe hare changes from brown to white in the winter. And then when it gets colder, a dormouse eats a lot of fruit and seeds. It makes a snug nest under the ground or in a tree and goes to sleep. 6 months later, it wakes up ready for the summer ahead. Hot and cold. Some animals that live here survive without water for a long time in the desert. And then Antarctica is the coldest place in the world, so penguins are one of the few animals that are able to live there. Weird weather. In some parts of the world, the weather makes odd things happen. Some people think that the strange clouds like this one look like spaceships. It is called a lenticular cloud, and they usually are from near mountains. Red raindrops sometimes fall from the sky. Winds pick up red sand from African deserts and carry it across the sea. The sand mixes with droplets of water in the clouds to make red rain. Then it says, a hailstone with a turtle inside once fell from the thundercloud in Mississippi, USA. Can you believe that? There was a turtle stuck in a hailstorm. Heating up. Many scientists think that the Earth's atmosphere is slowly getting warmer. The air in the atmosphere acts like a blanket to keep the Earth warm. When fuels like oil and coal are burned, lots of gases are released into the air. And the atmosphere is getting warmer because the gases are trapped trap the heat from the sun. Animals add to the gases released into the air. If the earth gets warmer, the weather will change. In cold places, ice and snow would melt and could cause massive floods. Hundreds of years from now, all this ice might have melted. And then at the end of our nonfiction books, we have something called a glossary. So anything you don't know about, they have pictures here for you. So it tells us what that word means, like droplet or ice crystal or lightning. And then it has some websites you can visit if you want to learn more. And then we have an index at the back of the page. So you can search some words that are in the book and then find them on their page number. So that is all about our nonfiction stories, and also a lot of information about different types of weather. So I hope you guys liked it. I hope you have some fun today, and I'll see you guys again soon.